Hey Sagittarius, here is your Taroscope channeled message from Spirit. So let's jump straight to it, Sagittarius. It looks like what you got going on right now is there was some sort of disappointment in your life. You got the Five of Water reversed for what's going on right now. So there's some sort of disappointment, and it's kind of like you knew it wouldn't work, but you were still hopeful that it would work. Like maybe that person had their epiphany and it would be different this time. Or, hey, now that I stood up for myself and expressed my boundaries, maybe now things will be different. So it didn't work out. There's disappointment. But for you, there was a lot of pivotal growth. There was a lot of, no, but this time I stood my ground. This time I told them what I wanted. Last time I didn't tell them what I wanted, so I can't get mad at them that they took advantage of me, or that they didn't, I didn't speak my needs, so how could they meet it? But this time around, like, you spoke your needs and it wasn't met. So that's a situation. What's crossing it, the current energy affecting it, is that you got the Moon card upright, and the Moon card upright is like, it's not just confusion. Hey, wisdom seeker. It's not just confusion. It's a state of like, well, I don't know who's right or who's wrong. I don't know my left from my right. It's kind of like, well, do I want that? Do I not want that? It's literally like a state of being where you just have like no idea what you want. And your confusion actually lies in like, wait, were they an asshole? Were they mean to me? You know, this is how it felt to me, right? It's that doubt, like, do I feel bad right now because something from my past is being triggered, or did they actually do something bad? But like, what's really going on right now is that you got the Nine of Fire, Nine of Swords upright. You are going through a phase of outgrowing your past life. I wouldn't even say it's people pleasing being gone. I would say it's more with living with that internal doubt. Was it me? Was it them? Is this the time where I'm supposed to be compassionate? Like, guys, sometimes you just have to recognize that sometimes when you have things to say, the other person will feel bad, right? When a doctor has to give a bad diagnosis to someone, hey, you got stage 5, blah, 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 you got 2 months to live. Do you think that feels good? No. Doesn't feel good to be the person saying it. It doesn't feel good to be the person hearing it. So sometimes when you're in a relationship, you do have to express disappointment, right? Like, hey, like, we made plans to hang out, but you ended up flirting with someone else the whole other night. Saying things like that is normal in relationships. It's normal for you to speak up to yourself to that degree of like, hey, that wasn't okay how you treated me. And it's not even about like, it wasn't okay how you treated me. It's that it's a, hey, that didn't feel good to me. So next time we go out, like, let's just make sure we go out when it's like us going out. Right? Because you don't need to shame the other person. You don't need to make them bad, even though highly likelihood with this combo of cards, they were a jackass. They're just immature. They don't understand how relationships works. And it is not your job to teach anyone anything or how to be in a relationship. That's not your job. If you're caught in that dynamic where you're finding their flaws and, oh, if I give them this meditation, or if they learn this forgiveness technique I learned, or if they do the Course in Miracles like I learned, they'll give up their cynicism of the world. No. Anytime you see that in someone else, there's judgment within you. So it's better for you to bring your focus back to you and focus on that I don't feel good enough for a relationship. I feel like there's so many things that I need to improve upon, that I need to get better at before I can actually have a relationship. If you put your focus on cleaning up that old belief system, that flawed premise, that's when you'll get the love that you want. Not when you get someone who you can contribute and you can expand and you can help them grow. It's when you recognize that you're whole and complete right now. You might have something from your past coming up. You might have like an anxious attachment style. But there's someone out there that if you express, hey, I'd love to be in a relationship with you, but I got to tell you that when I make that mental switch, and it's a relationship, not a friendship, like, I tend to need to hear from the person like every 2 to 3 hours, or I just downward spiral, and I can't put myself through that downward spiral. So being with me like comes with that. And it's okay if you can't handle that. Like, I get that. right? And then it's the other person's choice. They might go, no, that's too much for me. No, you're too needy. They might. They might also go, I've known clients who, wow, thank you for letting me know that. I don't want you to feel anything but good. So yeah, I could send you a quick, hey, thinking of you, quick photo of where I'm at. Hey, love you. They're happily together now. She didn't have to clean up her past wounds from what gave her that anxious attachment style. She just had to express, like, hey, I know for me right now, who I am as a human being in this exact moment, this is what I need in order to feel good. That's what focus on you actually means. It's getting to know yourself and getting to know your preferences, expressing them, and then only matching, pairing with someone who also wants the same thing. You got to give up control. Okay, yeah, in your past, some sadness. Obviously, a situation like that doesn't feel good. You're like, I gave them one last chance and they just proved me wrong. I guess I'm not worthy of change. It doesn't feel good. And like in the moment, so you got the Tower card reversed. When the Tower card upright comes up, it's like that out of the blue shocker, right? But it's like you saw it coming. You saw it coming. You knew they weren't going to change. You knew they weren't going to change. You knew it wasn't going to be different than it was. And just admit that, like, okay, I gave it one last go. I gave it one last little bit of hope to just see. And then be done with it. You're starting to recognize that relationships are worth it, though. Friendship, romantic. You're starting to realize, like, there is a lot of benefit of being in relationship. And guys, like, being in a relationship is so normal for human beings. Like plants need water, like air and sun, right? If you don't give it sun, it's going to die. Unless it's like a special breed of a plant, but it will die. So human beings, we're built with an intrinsic need for touch. We're built with an intrinsic need for a hug. Love and affection is a core need. Little kids, when they're born in an ideal situation, they tend to wake up and they run up to mom or dad, whoever's there, and cuddle with them. That's our natural innate place of being, is to desire that love and affection and to be okay. Like, hey, I want a hug. Hey, I just love leaning my head against you. Guys, it is so normal. So you got to normalize feeling good in relationships. In terms of your personal power this month, is really starting to speak your preferences with conviction, with like, hey, like, whoa, I don't appreciate that. Like, let me just give you a crazy example so you guys can see it. Like, say you're planning to hang out with someone in a sexy time kind of way, and you're like asking them, like, hey, babe, send me some photos as you're getting like ready or whatever, driving, getting off work, whatever it is. And then if I'm going to go, oh no, busy. But then like a couple hours later, they're like, hey, are you open to a third? Because I think I found someone who wants to, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving you guys a very graphic example so it sinks in. It would be okay for you to go, babe, what the hell? I asked you for a photo for our experience to help turn me on, and you don't have time because you're busy, but you have time to invite an entire new person in. All that coordination, all that text, like you could have been in that focus on you and me, not that that's a turn off. That's a turn off. I'm turned off. That's unattractive. It's speaking with conviction your truth. Because there might be another person out there who loves that, like, oh, babe, you're finding us a third to hang out with? Ooh, who did you find? Tell me about them. What are they like? Like, right? There are people out there who like that too. There's people who like both of those. And there's probably like 20 different other ways that could play out. 20 different reactions to that same action. It's about you going, hey, that's not cool with me, so that they know that. And then if that's something that they only want group sex, then let them go their way and you go your way. Or they might go, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. And they now know with you that it's just a sexy rendezvous between you two. Speaking your preferences helps you align with people who also want what you want. That's when your love life is going to get better. In terms of outside influences, they're trying to get you back. They're trying to get you back. They're going to be kind. They're going to be loving. I wouldn't encourage you guys to. There's nothing in here that indicates no. I do what you want. Comment below. Let me know. I'm kind of curious how this is playing out for you guys. I'm so fucking curious. And if my story, it happened to one of my clients recently, so I'm curious if it happened to anyone else. In terms of your hope or fears this month, there's a little bit of you that's like not quite jaded in love, a little like giving up. Like maybe true love doesn't exist. Maybe that fairy tale like stuff that I was fed, you know, wasn't true. But the good thing about that, the silver lining in that is that when you hit that moment, it tends to be I'm not going to put more effort in. Like, I don't need to prove myself for love. I no longer need to prove I'm worthy of love. I no longer need to prove my value. I no longer need to prove I'm not a burden. It's like that state where you're like, okay, fuck it. Maybe true love doesn't exist, but what I can tell you is that when I'm going to hang out with someone for the sake of feeling giddy, for the sake of feeling delight, for the sake of having fun, it's no longer going to feel like work, and it's actually going to feel like eager anticipation. Like I'm looking forward to hang out with them. Like I can't wait to feel their skin on my skin. I can't wait to feel their touch on my cheek. Like you now know that it's about moving towards a good feeling in relationships. So that's a good outcome for you. In terms of your outcome for this month, it looks like it's just a little month of a wobble for you. It's a little bit of a month of like settling into it's okay to express my desires. And if the other person, it's something that indicates I was disappointed in them, it's like you're going to normalize that. Because right now it's the Queen of Pentacles reversed. We want the Queen of Pentacles upright. So, but anytime you're learning a new skill, especially a personal development skill, it can feel wobbly as you go through it. So this is just like a month of solidifying. This is the type of relationship I want. Nope, this is the type of sexy time I like. This is the type of food I like. Hey, I actually don't like picking up your groceries for you. I actually do like picking up my groceries for you. It's really that month of defining like preferences and boundaries. So boundaries are no, you can't do this thing to me, which would be like no, babe, don't come at me with a threesome if like it's sexy time between us. That's a boundary. That's a no. There's also a preference, which is, hey, like, oh wow, I didn't know you were into threesomes. Okay, that's cool. You can do you. I know that for me, I prefer just focusing on one person and lavishing each other's bodies. If that's the type of experience you want, like call me. So boundaries a no, a preference is a yes. Same topic, two different ways to view it. Whichever way you need to view it to express it, Sagittarius, get it out there. And if you need more help, I have personal sessions. Personal one-off sessions readings are now open, guys. I will put the link in the comment for you to book one. Love you guys. Have a good day.